Hi, welcome to the weekly update of GlooEye. This is the work I've been doing this week is on the Slack DSL. So it allows you to interact with the Slack API without code. Right now I implemented two endpoints, conversation list and post message. And conversation list has no extra parameters other than the authentication token, but since it's set at the top level of the Slack domain, it can be reused by the request, so you don't have to add it on every single endpoint. And we have post message, which has some defaults. It loads with some default. The channel ID, which I will use bot test, a channel I have on Slack. And the message text, if you want to send for the notification preview, and if you don't set the message and the nice visual message, you can send just text. But if you want to send a formatted message, you can use the blocks, which are available here in the block kit builder for Slack, but it's a JSON editor. Like, you can add fields to the JSON from the left, but you have to edit the JSON on the right. And something I just found out is that if you make it a little bit less wide, it doesn't work because it assumes it's a cell phone or something like that. So here I have some of those blocks, a header, you can edit them and see the preview at the bottom, a plain text section, and some markdown, an image, a title, and an alt text. And you can see the preview here. And when you are ready to send, you just expand output and hit run. And here is the response. And you may have heard the sound. Here is the message I just sent, which looks pretty similar. And another thing I was working on is because Slack doesn't, the Slack API doesn't allow CORS, so I had to implement a backend to forward the requests. That's why I'm running on localhost. You can try it here on experiments GlooEye v4, but the Slack stuff won't work because it requires an HTTP request from the backend. And I'm still not building the backend or making releases. Another thing I worked on is JSON manipulation. You can now collapse or expand one or multiple blocks, and some better rendering of JSON when the value is an empty object or an empty array, so you can see more than emptiness. So for example, let's say I have this channel ID, but I want to put the ID here, not the name, because if somebody renames the name, it won't work. I can go to conversation list, hit run, search for bot test, and scroll a little bit, copy the ID. Here you can see an empty list I mentioned, and collapse all of these and paste the ID. So before this, you may have to write a Python script or a Node.js script to do it. Here you can do everything without writing a single line of code, and all interactively in a REPL-like environment. So this was this week work on Stack. If you have any question or would like to have more details about this, just contact me and we can set up a call. Bye.